it could imply you're installing a new version of the movie. So yeah, it might be a loaded term, the whole reboot thing. I mean, if a story is not broke, then don't fix it, you know? If it tells a classic tale, a timeless tale, then there's no need to think that you know better and start messing around with it, you know what I mean? Just get the youth to watch the classics and get them to appreciate the stuff that we grew up on and how it all came from that, you know? We're always building on each other's ideas and evolving, aren't we? That's how it works. But I don't like the whole kind of just isolating a version away from its original template, so to speak. Especially if it's a beloved version. Because I don't know, it just creates separation, doesn't it? A separation from where it all came from. And then with the concept of the thing, that was a polymorphogenetic virus parasite that mimicked biological life forms to infiltrate other biological life forms, mainly with human nature, humanity in the films. So that's kind of on the same level as Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I would suggest, I keep saying that today, don't I? I would suggest what are you going to say? The Thing, which is a great movie by the way, but it is quite intense. So you have to be kind of prepared to watch something like that. As with all horror films, you've got to like kind of prepare yourself spiritually to watch these movies because they can be quite traumatic, you know. They can go quite deep within your psyche, can't they? And show you a version of reality that's very kind of disturbing. But I would say the Thing entity that they discovered in Antarctica of all places would be not dissimilar to the Wetico virus that the Native Americans coined as the ultimate spiritual virus that can take human form or infiltrate human due to maybe the trauma that the human race has been through. And create this kind of divisiveness, which is what viruses do, don't they? They divide and spread. And they're kind of bent on world domination for their own survival. But it's all an illusion, really. I would say a virus is very much an illusion. I mean, it's very real when you have a virus. I'm not saying that. But the way it operates, the way it's not as alive as we think it is, it needs us as a host. Same with parasites. It needs something that has life to keep it powered up. And then once it's drained the life force out of you, it goes on to something else. So that's why it has to keep moving on and spreading. And it's an interesting concept to think about. I would say all viruses come from the one main virus, the one main spiritual virus. If you've ever seen My Neighbor Totoro, which is a Studio Ghibli film by Hayao Miyazaki, I think I pronounced that right, I'm not sure. But it's a great one to if you've got kids. It's like, it's not got any corruption as far as I can see in it. You know, it hasn't got like sex written in the cloud like in the older Disney movies. And like loads of sexual innuendos and things like that. It's quite a wholesome, innocent kind of cartoon film. Very nicely animated. It's got a really kind of calming atmosphere to it. But it shows like this little kind of creature, nature spirit, and how it kind of goes from being invisible to being solid. Like it runs, and because it's scared, it turns into a solid creature. But when it's kind of in more of its nature element or essence, it disappears, maybe to our perception of it, because it isn't in our kind of dense realm of fear motivated emotions. But the more it fears, the more you can see it, the more it kind of densifies into this realm. And I think there's totally a metaphysical lesson you can get from that. Just that little image, that little metaphor. I think the more we're kind of in those states of worry and self-doubt and things are never going to work out for me, and despair, and this place isn't ever going to get any better, the more that we're going to kind of vibrate at those more denser levels.